And a good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, Interim Manager at WEAU TV and Radio. Today we're going to be talking to the folks from the Doudna Fine Arts Center here on campus. We have the Director of Programming, Malak. Welcome, Dennis.
Well, thanks for having me.
And Director of Operations, making his first appearance, is Conor Baltz.
Hello.
So appreciate you guys coming in, and it's one of the things. The fact that you're here is kind of good news in itself, because in the past Dan would come in and we'd always talk about the fall season or the spring season or whatever. We didn't get to do that last year because of that ugly C word, COVID, right? So let's just kind of talk about what Doudna did this past year, and as we lead into this the fall season.
Well, this past year for Doudna wasn't a quiet one, as many people might have thought. There were still a lot of activities going on. We were very, cautious and all that, but Connor here did a lot of the work with the live streaming that we did on our YouTube channel, and so I'll let him talk more about it, but we live streamed some larger ensembles, we did some outdoor concerts, we live streamed a lot of student recitals so that family and parents could still watch from home. So we did a lot of stuff, but I'll let Connor talk more about that.
Yeah, lots of live streams. Lots of live streams. We did about 80 live streams last semester. There were a couple days where we had done 6 of them, 6 student recitals. But people loved it. They got to watch their students play. We got to watch friends. There were a couple where we had up to 200 people watching at one point. Generally, it was around 60, but thinking about how many people could be watching together in their homes, it's about as good as we could get in Doudna. So it was great to be able to provide that for the students.
Now, technically, is it tough? I know when we do live streams here, we have 2 or 3 people, we have them mic'd up, but to get the sound correct, how do you give us a little, I don't want to go too technical.
Yeah.
Talk about how you set that up.
Yeah, so our sound engineer, Kevin DeBella, for a lot of the live streams, he would sit down in our recording studio and mix it live down there and then send it up to me, to the video equipment, and we'd put it out that way. But it kept him pretty busy as well.
I bet. As we think about last year, as we move into this fall year, when does the actual fall season open, and what can people expect?
Well, this year we're back to more normal. We have a full lineup of our premier artists, and we kick it off on Wednesday, September 1st with Dynamo, which is a great group, recommended to me by a lot of people. It's wonderful music. It's like a... Connor, how would you describe Dynamo? You're a big fan.
Yeah, they're kind of like a funk, rock, jazz fusion group.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I started listening to them when I started school here, and they're just insanely talented, based out of Nashville. So it's pretty exciting.
I always like to find out the story about how you found out about some of these folks, because that's the neat thing about Doudna. We're not getting the artists that people would recognize the names, but then when you find out about some of these people that play there, then you YouTube them and you're like, wow. Yeah. So tell me about how you found out about Dynamo, or where you first heard about it.
Well, a lot of the students in the music department really, really liked them my freshman year. I think there was a friend of mine that actually knew one of the performers personally, and I was telling people about the band. So, it just took off from there. People loved that kind of music.
Okay. We'll just keep going down the line. Some of your big performers that are coming in, and I think, was it the Cirque Spirit of the Machine next?
It is. That one is going to be on a Tuesday, September 28th. It's going to be great. It's going to be in our concert hall, and they're going to be... what really fascinated me about this one is it's aerial acrobatics, right, in the concert hall with live music underneath it. So it kind of touches a lot of the different art forms, and it's just going to be a fun and exciting show. They're bringing in a huge lighting rig. It's going to be a fun concert with all the aerial stuff happening all around it. So this one's going to be fun. Just to see happen, and it's something that we've never done in the concert hall before. So
again, I'm going to ask the same question. Where did you find them?
We, Dan and I, 2 or 3 years ago now, went to Arts Midwest, and it's where all these presenters come in, and we from 10 a.m. to about midnight, we just go from showcase to showcase looking at these artists, and we ran into this one, and we thought it was an interesting concept. We liked the fact that it was live music and not canned music underneath, and I was talking to the director, and they play off each other, so the musicians will adapt and what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of spontaneously kind of tweak what they're doing based on what the performers are doing in the air, and then the performers will also kind of tweak a little bit what they're doing based on what the music is. So
it's not completely choreographed. There's a little bit of
wiggle room, a little bit of improvisation kind of going on between both of them.
There's the word, yeah.
That's the word, yep. And it's going to be a great show. So I'm excited for that one as well.
And when we refer to Dan, I guess we should, Dan Cruz was the former director of the Doudna, and he had been on the show many times, and everybody had been at Eastern for like, what, 1,000 years, I think?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's about right.
So that's when we say Dan. So and I know Dan always liked to go to the shows. Now, you couldn't really do this the last year and a half, go to any of these expos per se, or do they have them online? Or
they did some things online. We didn't go to the one last year because we knew that this past season was going to be we weren't going to be able to bring any artists in. So next one is still online. I may attend that just to see what it's like and see how that goes forward, and then hopefully we'll go back in person from there, because you can't. It's hard to judge online. You really want to see the energy, and you want to feel the energy from the performers. And
do you get to meet the performers at events like this sometimes as well?
Yeah, you get to meet them, talk to them. A lot of times they'll be the ones who are, if their managers are there, they'll be the ones talking about booking and things like that. So it's a lot of fun, and you get to meet a lot of great people.
In the past, we've had Dennis on. He's told us a little bit of his background. But Conor, why don't you give a little bit about Conor Baltz and your background and why you enjoy working at Doudna?
Yeah, so I started as a student here at Eastern in 2015. I was a music major. I play the drums, like to hit things, I guess. But no, I started working for Dennis my sophomore year at the Doudna, and it just, I couldn't have asked for a better experience, a better learning experience. Yeah, I know. I'm being nice to you.
I know, that's not normal.
No,
it's live on the air.
Exactly, yeah. People are listening. I have to be nice. Oh. Yeah. No, but I started working for him, and then was promoted to be his student supervisor my junior year. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I knew I enjoyed music. I knew I loved working in technology. Got a lot of my tech experience from my grandpa when I was a kid, but yeah, once I graduated, our sound engineer left, so I was able to be the interim sound engineer for a while, and then worked alongside Dennis a little bit after that, and now I'm here. So it was quite the journey, but I'm happy where I'm at right now.
It's another EIU success story.
Yeah.
We always like it when the EIU students can become employees, because they have that little passion for the university.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm one of those. So
am I.
We're all good that way. Well, let's continue to go through some of the highlights. We're talking to the folks from Doudna Fine Arts Center for the fall and spring season that'll be happening on the campus of EIU. We're up to in October. I don't want to butcher the name. Is it Cordis or Cordis?
Cordis.
Cordis. All right.
So Cordis Condition Blue is the next one, October 5th, and this is a great one. It's partnered with National Geographic, and they're experiencing the world of sound and how it interacts with water, and it's going to be a whole series. They're going to do some other stuff with water and then earth and other things, but so they'll be here. They'll be doing the music and that. They'll be playing some instruments in water, and so people can kind of
in water.
Yeah, with it mic'd, so it changes the sound a little bit, and it's gonna be an interesting show. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That'd be neat. Then
I don't think it's gonna be any wood instruments.
Yeah, let's hope not.
There you go. Betty Davis, 8 for the Sissies, or 8 for Sissies,
yes.
In the theater on November 18th.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun show. We got to see Dan Cruz and I got to see this at the same showcase, and she was just very compelling, and it's a great story about how Betty Davis really fought back against it's in there in the brochure, but the male-dominated studio system, and it all takes place on the night that it was leaked that she was going to lose her Oscar to Scarlett O'Hara. So it's all about that and how she really fought against that system, and it's a really good, compelling show. And Jessica Shear, who performs it, is phenomenal. So
is it a one-person show, or does she?
It is a one-person show. So she.
I find those fascinating. I mean, just for the fact that there's nobody to give you a breather, a break. Like now, I can ask you guys questions, and if I want, I can do something else. But she's up there all night long, or for an hour, or whatever it is, and performing.
Yeah, no, she's great, and I couldn't imagine having to command a whole stage or audience of 300 plus people by myself for an hour and a half.
No,
that's cool. And that'll be November 18th.
Yep.
In the theater. All right. Then we're looking at is there anything else in the fall that we want to touch on before we hit to the
Betty
spring?
Davis, Aim for Sissies closes out our fall season.
Now, how does this compare to the fall? Did you used to have more performances and more acts, or is it because of COVID we're a little bit pared down budget-wise, or?
No, we've kind of fluctuated in our. At the highest point, we did about 13 to 14 premiere seasons a year, and that was getting a bit too much with all the other activities, the music department stuff, the theater department, and all the other activities that happen in Doudna throughout the season. So we kind of pared back, and then we wanted to and then boosted some of what the shows that we were doing to bring in a little bit more of a higher caliber artist. And so it's not a budget issue, it's more of a scheduling and kind of not killing the Doudna crew as much kind of an issue.
I understand that. You know, as we're all working on unlimited, budget and people. I mean, that's the way we've all Easterns really survived. That's why we're here, right? Over the past decade. So I understand completely. Then in February, the 62nd Jazz Fest.
Yep.
Talk about that and what we can expect in Dvorak.
Yeah, that is always one of the great weekends we have, and it's phenomenal for our jazz studies program in the music department. So every year they host this festival, and they Doudna supports them by bringing in a special guest artist, and this year it's going to be Bob Shepard, who's a great player, and he is going to play with our jazz ensemble at the festival. So our jazz ensemble students get to actually perform with this artist the whole night. They'll do a few tunes on their own, but for the most part they're going to be performing with him, and it's just a great experience for them. And then he will also be giving, for any of the schools that attend the festival, he'll be giving a master class the next day as part of bringing him in, and so he'll get to work with the students a little bit one-on-one, and it's a phenomenal thing. And
is he well thought of? I don't know who Bob Shepard. I mean,
I hadn't heard of him before, but I've listened to some of his playing. He's very
really
talented. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. He's done played with a lot of A-listers and things like that. So he's known in the industry for his performing chops.
So the 62nd. I know Mac White from our station always goes to this, so he'll want to know that it's Friday the 4th at 7:30 in Dvorak. That's the 62nd Jazz Festival there. And then Talisk in Dvorak?
Yeah, this is a really great group. They are out of Scotland, and there's kind of a folk group out of Scotland, but their energy is phenomenal. They do put on a great show, and they're all around performers, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And that's Thursday, February 17th.
Yep.
And are those one of the ones you found out about that because they're going, since they're over in America, and then it happens to fit right, or how'd Tallis come about?
They actually were a premiere showcase at one of the festivals that we attended, and Dan and I were listening to them, and we were thinking about them, and then they kind of fell off the radar. And then right as we were starting to pick things back up in January, looking at hopefully having a full season this year, and planning for one, they kind of popped back up on my radar somehow, and I listened to them again, and I just thought, this is just too fun of a group to not have at the Doudna. And again, they're phenomenal musicians. So
I know nationally it seems like there's so many more people that are acts and shows and all these things are starting to happen. Are you getting other people contacting you now from acts as opposed to the fact that you used to go out and search for acts?
Yeah, you can tell people are really searching for work again, and I can't blame them after 16 months of not being able to perform or do what their work and their passion. But yeah, I get emails, every day from artists and things, and so and I always keep them, save them, we look into them, and we keep going. But a lot of them are looking for like this coming season, and unfortunately we are all full. We're
well, it's
booked
good
up.
that you're booked. I mean, in a way. Yeah. It could, I guess, the other side of that, it could be sad because you might miss out on somebody really good that you wanted. But
right.
You have to do what you have to do.
But they're always willing to look at the next season. So.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Now, Connor, I think we should, before we continue to go through the year, why don't you tell us? Will there be changes in operations, like I know with COVID still being out there? Is it how people sit and interact and social distance, or are we going full ahead without that? Talk about in the fall.
Yeah. Well, Dennis, you can chime in too. But right now we're operating under, if you are fully vaccinated, it is optional for you to wear a mask in the Doudna. If you are not fully vaccinated, you are still required to wear a mask and social distance. That's the biggest thing we have right now.
Yeah.
And no seating rules. People can sit by each other and all that, so everything's good that way?
Yes.
Now, will there be food and drink at some of the events, or is that still, or do we know?
We are looking into having start to serving adult beverages at our premiere shows again this coming season. So.
Okay.
hopefully that'll pan out and we can have that back.
I know everything's still kind of in the air.
Yeah.
I understand that. Same here at Easter. I mean, at WEIU. Then we're going to move on to the Black Box Theater's The Visitor. I don't know anything about that one, so tell folks what they can expect February 28th.
So, February 26th.
Oh, that's bad eyes on my part.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I just don't want to throw out the wrong date.
Sorry, man.
So The Visitor, this is a first. This is something that I worked with Jennifer Sissies over at the director of the Tarbell Arts Center, and we have worked on, for the first time, a dual partnership with a performance artist. And so this performance art is something that it's going to be very interesting. It kind of works on the thought of empty space and silence, but they're also going to be working with two musicians, a percussionist and a what does she play?
Bass clarinet.
Thank you, bass clarinet.
Good job,
That's why I got. That's why I got to bring
why
them. You bring the musician with you. So they'll be performing with our students. They'll be here for a whole week. In fact, I believe Rafael Vera will be here a week before, just doing stuff at Tarbell, and then the next week for Doudna, he'll be here. We'll be working on we'll be rehearsing with the students every night, and then kind of setting up the lights and getting everything perfect. It's just like a 1 week kind of full production, design, build, rehearsal, and then a show on Saturday, and then we're good to go. So it's going to be a new experience for everybody.
Well, that's kind of good. I love the partnerships. I mean, when Eastern can do those things, because I think it helps out everybody to show what we're doing here.
And the tickets for this one are free because the Tarbell is sponsoring it to make it free for everybody.
Oh, that's awesome.
So.
And then you got the Broadway musical, which has multiple dates.
Yep, that is another partnership that's with our theater department and our music department for the orchestra. So this is our annual theater musical. Doudna started helping sponsor this and kind of really making these the big Broadway musicals that they were meant to be, and assisting the departments with that. And so this is our third year, I believe, having them kind of be one of our premier shows. And this one is. It's amazing. I mean, it's Little Women, so everybody knows this story, but it's Little Women, the Broadway musical, which just kind of brings it up to that next level. Like, you got to see what the music is going to be for that. Right. So we're all excited about this one, and we're hoping some schools will get some excitement and come see it, because it's a literary classic. So
I know we want people to come. Is any of this stuff going to be streamed, or do you know yet, or is that kind of all to be determined?
The premiere shows won't be streamed.
They won't be. Okay.
Yeah,
we're still working out what shows with music and whatnot we are going to be streaming. There will be some. We're just not exactly sure what yet.
And then the reminders in Dvorak on March 10th.
Yeah, this is a great duo. I got to see them perform live, and it's just a really great messages in their music, and the way that they flow, and just their
is it folk or is
style.
it what kind of music?
It's a blend full of like root music and soulful music. They're just they kind of just. It's hard to describe. It's just an interesting show where you can tell they're putting their heart and soul into their music and trying to send out these great vibes to everybody as they're performing. And it's just, I believe, the two of them and a DJ behind them, and it's just a phenomenal show.
So why they're called the reminders, because they want you to remind a message, or is that, did you ask, or that's the kind of stuff that goes through my
No, I didn't ask how they got their name, but that's something that I'm going to
need to know, Dennis. Okay.
I'll tell you what. I will ask them, and you come to the show, and then I will ask them, and I'll announce it from the stage why they got their name.
That's awesome. And then I'm going to try not to butcher this one. The Las Cafeteras.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Remember, I don't mess up. It's a good day, right? That's in Dvorak on April 7th. So we're really the last big premiere event, right?
This is what we close our season with in April is Las Cafeteras, and they're just a high energy, great group. A lot of them personally go out and are community activists within their own wherever they live, and they just their performance with the mixing of different languages, English, Spanish, Spanglish, and from rock to hip hop. It's just they cover a lot of things, and
And where are they based out of?
They are based out of Los Angeles.
Okay. Now, obviously, we went through the premiere stuff, but intermingled will be a lot of the students, and
Yep.
and so is there any highlights you want to push on for the students or faculty or any of the other events we'll have at Doudna this year?
Well, the music department and the theater department have a full season. We'll have another brochure coming out here next month that'll have everything in it. So, keep an eye out for that. But, the music department will have their normal concert series with the Eastern Symphony Orchestra, the concert bands, the Connor, you can mention more. Percussion ensemble will be performing again live. So.
Jazz ensemble, jazz lab band, jazz combos.
So that they're all out there, and the theater has 3 other productions that they're putting out. And it's just gonna be a great season. So.
Are you guys ready to work a lot this year after your? Not that you didn't work, but it's just a different being there a lot and doing this stuff.
Yeah, well, this will be a new year really for both of us because
Right.
This is gonna be our first full year in the new roles that we have. So we're gonna be learning from each other a lot as we go through the whole season.
Now, do you still get to play, Connor? You play a lot, or
I do. I actually played. Was that last weekend?
A couple weeks.
2
ago.
weekends
2
ago.
weekends ago.
Yeah, we had Cisco had a show here. They're a local theater group, and
I thought it was
played
a rap
with them.
star was here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. They did a musical a couple weekends ago, and we did a grand night for singing, so I got to play at that. But yeah.
Have you talked to people who are already getting tickets and stuff and what's their level of excitement that they can go out and do something and be entertained again?
Everybody's just genuinely excited just to be like when we had Cisco in there. You can tell people were just excited to be around other people and doing something that they really truly missed for the last year and a half or so. And you go out there and you talk to them and they're just so thankful that they could even be there, and they thank you for having the show, and they and what I like to tell them is we're just as thankful. This is our passion too. We love bringing artists to the stage. We love kind of getting people into the building and experiencing all this unique music and theater and artwork, and so we are just as excited as everybody else. And as I tell everybody, I can't wait to see everybody back in the seats at Doudna. So.
Either of you can answer, but maybe for someone who's just new to the community, maybe a new teacher at Eastern or Mattoon or Charleston, has no idea really what Doudna is about. Can you give us your pitch for the Doudna Fine Arts Center on the campus of EIU?
Well, the Doudna is I would say the premier performing venue, entertainment venue for the entire East Central Illinois region. We bring in 9 to 10 acts, performing artists from around the world every year. We do over, when that was my job, now it's Connor's, but we did over 300 events and activities in the building a year, from camps to these premiere shows to private events like weddings. And so we are really like the I want to say the calling card to Eastern, we're the iconic building here on campus where people can go to when they're looking for something to do. There's always something happening at the Doudna Fine Arts Center, and we are so excited to be able to bring everything back.
Is it open to the public right now for people wanting to give tours, or are we still? Are we good that? So
we are
everybody
open.
wants to go. I know a lot of people haven't been in there, and then you go in there and you see the different rooms and the different auditoriums. You're like, holy cow!
If you want a tour, just give Connor or I a call, and we'll be happy to show you around.
Now, I wouldn't be a good journalist if I didn't ask the next question, and you know probably what it is, and it begins with a C and ends with an N. Any celebration, or is it?
We are doing a little bit different this year. We're doing a holiday fest and a spring fest. So it's not really celebration. The spring fest is going to feel a lot like a celebration, but it's going to be kind of tailored a little bit differently. We're going to try to revamp it and breathe a little bit of new life into it. And that was the plan actually for the last year, but of course, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. That was the plan, and of course that got canceled. But so we're going to try to bring it back. It's going to have the feel of celebration, and that's going to be Friday, April 22nd through Sunday, April 24th. We'll be bringing a lot of departmental musicals and theater events. We'll be here for that. But we'll also be doing the Holiday Fest in December, December 2nd through the 5th, and that's going to also feature the always popular holiday art sale. along with musical acts and theater shows. So we're going to kind of break it up and do 2 festivals instead of just the one big one, and go from there.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That's actually better. I thought you were going to say no, we couldn't do it this year, but that's actually better news.
We're planning forward. We're going to have 2 festivals, and we're going to really have a lot of fun with those.
Before I ask you I don't know if they're world famous, that's what we call them, the world famous end of the show, 8 questions that you can answer. Anything else from the Doudna Fine Arts Center that you guys want to talk about?
I do want to mention, this year we launched our Friends of the Doudna campaign, and so if you're interested, if you enjoy what the Doudna has to offer, this Friend of the Doudna helps kind of keep our building running, and it's going to help us kind of replenish and ensure that we can continue to bring the high-level acts that we have been bringing in for future years. So if you're interested, just go to our the Doudna Tix page, or go to our EIU/Doudna page, and it'll lay it all out there for you. We have, I should know that by heart, but we have 6 levels of different support, starting at $25 and going all the way on up after that. So we encourage anyone, if you enjoy what we do, please become a friend of the Doudna.
That's a good idea. Thank you very much. Connor, anything you want to add that we forgot before?
I don't think so.
All right. I'm just going to ask questions. We'll go Dennis, then Connor, and the East. What act are you most looking forward to at Doudna this year? I'll throw an easy one at you.
Well, they're all different, and they all touch different things, so I'm looking forward to all of them. But I would say, if I had to, I can't wait to see an aerial show in the concert hall. Like, that just is going to blow my mind, I think.
Connor?
Yeah, and I'm also very excited about all of them. It's all kinds of different stuff, but definitely Dynamo, just because I have that connection, having listened to them before.
All-time favorite musical act? Anywhere, it could be anything.
Oh, wow.
Your go-to CD in your car, or your go-to on your MP3?
Wow. That's a hard one.
I know. This is a tough show.
You not pulling any punches. So no, I would say I like musical theater. I grew up in musical theater as a kid, so I would say any kind of Broadway musical.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
So.
Well, being a music major, mine changes like every other week, but right now, at least, if I don't know what to listen to, I'll turn on Led Zeppelin.
Oh, there's no wrong. What's your favorite place in Doudna? Is there that one place you just like to go if you need to reflect for a minute to get away from it all?
Oh, wow. If I really just want to get away from everyone, I go up to the grid.
That's what I was going to say.
Nobody else wants to go 7 stories in the air. So
there you go. Now I didn't know that you had. My question was your artistic talent. So you were in theater and you're a drummer. So I kind of answered that one, right?
Yeah.
You have any artist? So there you go. Is there a dream actor performer you'd like to see at Doudna somewhere down the line? Family's band or friends' band? Or?
I mean, I had been pushing for Dynamo for a few years now,
so you got.
He got his wish. If I had to do bring in an act, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I don't know, but I'll tell you what. If I had to bring back a show, one that I'd like to see would be High Art. We did it back in like 2009, and it was a good show.
We're out of time. Thank you guys so much. We've been talking to Dennis Malak and Conor Baltz from Doudna. We're back. They're open this fall, so go to Doudna Tix for more information. Thanks, guys, for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Everybody have a great day. We are WEIU.